Hello, friends. Welcome back. I'm Astro Kara. I combine astrology and coaching to help you move beyond old patterns, starting with what this eclipse is revealing. This week, we're moving into our Virgo full moon lunar eclipse, and it's the final eclipse in Virgo for this cycle. And this one feels less like an activation and more like refinement. If something in your life feels quietly exposed right now, that's likely where this eclipse is working. It's here to clarify something that cannot continue in the same way. No eclipse happens in isolation, and we are living inside the long arc of Pluto in Aquarius. This is collective restructuring, identity systems shifting, and power decentralizing. Even if you're not consciously tracking it, your body likely is. Because there's a background instability in the collective right now. And this eclipse personalizes the shift. It's bringing it down to the details of your daily life, your habits, your coping strategies, and even your subtle control mechanisms. And there's an interruption in the pattern. Pluto has been in a square to the dwarf planet Eris. And neither Pluto nor Eris will allow what's unconscious to stay unconscious. And this energy is reminding me of the archetype of the goddess Kali. In the Hindu myth, Kali faces a demon who multiplies every time his blood touches the ground. So the more he's attacked, the more he replicates. So she changes her strategy. She stops feeding what multiplies. And this eclipse carries that quality. It isn't asking you to fight harder or do more. It's asking you to notice where you keep trying harder instead of shifting your pattern. Where are you overworking to feel a sense of safety? Where do you overanalyze to avoid uncertainty? And where do you manage your anxiety through control? And this isn't about shame. It's about awareness. If something is feeling exposed, it doesn't mean you're failing. It may mean that you're seeing the mechanism clearly for the first time. Virgo, in its highest form, is not perfectionism. It's actually sacred refinement. And there's an old image of the refiner's fire. Metal that's heated until the impurities rise to the surface to be removed. The metal isn't destroyed by the fire. Its essence finally becomes visible. And that's the tone of this eclipse. Something in your life is being refined. And refinement can feel uncomfortable because the ego doesn't like releasing what it has used for stability. And this isn't about becoming better. It's about becoming more honest with yourself. Opposing the moon and south node in Virgo is a high concentration of Pisces energy. The sun, the north node, Mercury retrograde, Venus, and Mars. And Pisces dissolves what has reached completion. With Mercury retrograde here, clarity may not come immediately. You may feel foggy. You may feel tired in a way that sleep just won't fix. You may notice that your old motivations no longer carry the same energy. And this doesn't mean that something's wrong. It means that something is finishing. Pisces will ask for surrender before you get an explanation. Virgo wants to analyze. Pisces asks you to trust. And that tension is work. With the South Node in Virgo, we are seeing familiar coping strategies. Hypervigilance, self-correction, trying to fix something before actually allowing an uncertainty to be present. And these patterns likely kept you safe at one point in your life. The North Node in Pisces is asking for a different response now. To trust in life. Not passively, but softly. And there is a difference. One of the most important pieces right now is emotional capacity. Because when identity structures shift, it can feel extremely destabilizing. But destabilization is not the same as danger. You are being asked to hold complexity, grief, and possibility, disillusionment, and inspiration. And you are not required to solve anything in this moment. You're being invited to witness it. Because this eclipse is living in the in-between. Not who you were, and not yet who you're becoming. In my Thrivuary framework, this begins with the observer. Before we do any rebuilding of identity or before declaring our next chapter, we first have to observe. What is actually trying to be dissolved here? What patterns have you been feeding? And what would it look like to stop? Later comes the architect and the building, and then the alchemist and the integration. But right now, we are still in the refinement. And refinement cannot be rushed. This eclipse is not about optimizing yourself. It's not about proving anything. It's just about seeing clearly something that is being refined at the root. So the question isn't, how do I fix this? The question is, what am I ready to release? And if you're noticing something specific in your own life, I genuinely love to hear about it. Share with me in the comments what this eclipse is illuminating for you. And if you would like support navigating more consciously, my links will be in the description. Until next time, take care of you.